close? Good. Just a little insight as to how our house works and what it feels like to be a parent of a wonderful child like Samantha. I had a different speech written yesterday, and last night I said to Nick, yes, well, I don't think this is a very good speech, and it just seemed kind of corny and forced. And I said, I don't really know what you want me to say or what you want me to do. And I was really upset about it. I didn't know what the program was going to do. And so we went to bed that night. And I got up in the morning, and for some reason both of us were up early. It might have been in anticipation of this event. And Nikki was in the office. And I sat down and I was like, you know what? Something was wrong. And I said, what's wrong? You know? And she said, well, you just don't seem like you really want to give the speech. You're ready for it. And anybody knows me that has ever bought concert tickets with me, I always do bail at the last minute. So it was justified. Right. It was justified. And then, so I'm sitting there and we're in the office and looking at Twitter, of course, at 6:15 in the morning, and I come across an article that was in the Dispatch today that was written by Aaron Portzline about a minor league hockey coach here in Columbus. I don't know if anybody saw this article, but at 6:30, here's what I read. This is, if you didn't see the story, this is about a family of coach who's getting back into coaching after his daughter had passed away. And he said, you know, nothing can prepare a person for what the Christians, especially Ryan, endured in the final 3 years of her life. He said, tough can be a 10 or 11-year-old girl, man, Christian said. My Ryan, she's the toughest person I've ever met. And then I thought about the toughest person that I had ever met, which was my daughter. And then a little bit later he says, we always felt that as adults we'd stand on our own and take on the world and make it by ourselves. Nobody was ever going to give us anything, but when Ryan got sick, so many people helped us out, and you need that support so badly, there's no way you can take it on all by yourselves. And then I thought, that's exactly right. I'm going to see a bunch of people who are going to be here to support my family. And then a little bit later in the article, it says, every day you live with the grief, Jeff Christian said, it's always there, always. The memories, those don't fade either. But some days you don't want to deal with the heaviness of it, but there's nowhere to put it. It's a real thing. You just have to decide some days with all your energy, all you've got, that you're going to get up and plow through it. But it's never easy. There's not a day that goes by. There's not an hour that goes by where I don't think about Ryan. And then finally, he closed the article. It says, it's so important for parents who lose their children that their children are remembered. We've really appreciated that from all of our friends and family. I'll post something on Facebook. I'll have almost 300 likes. That means so much to me, that people remember how beautiful she was and how strong she was. And so I was going to bail on this speech. And for some reason at 6:15 in the morning, this was in my Twitter feed. And these are the kinds of things that happen to you when you lose a child. And you don't know whether they're on purpose or not. And so I proceeded to go to work and went to a meeting where it was a room where I wanted to punch just about everybody out. My colleagues know who I was in the meeting with and they'll understand why. I still didn't have a speech. And so I went to Sam's grave. And I sat down, I put my chair out, and I felt really, really sad about the thought of her missing tonight, because she would have loved to have been here. She would have loved to have been dressed up in Miranda's store. She would have been wearing some funky boots and some cool clothes, and she would have just loved being there. And it made me really, really sad. And then, then I thought about why we're going to be here tonight. And I thought about how excited and happy Sam would have been to know that what is happening here tonight is going to help other kids. And she would have just thought that was the coolest thing ever. And I'm reminded of what we tell our family, that we have experienced the highest highs and the lowest lows. And it seems like a contradiction. It seems like those things are in conflict. But you realize that we have a very rich experience. We have a rich tapestry to our life. And what we know is that tapestry is woven with the thread of hope. And I thought a little bit more, and I thought, it's the other contradiction that we have is that, Sam had such a fragile body, but her soul was so strong. You can see the body, but you can't see the soul. The body's really, really complicated, but the soul is really simple. And we watched Sam's body slowly give out on her. And we held her hand when she took her last breath. But her soul didn't leave us. And it stayed with us when we went to Disney as a family. And we smiled and we laughed and we giggled. It stayed with us when we went to Park City and learned how to snowboard as a family. And then it got bigger. And it said to her wonderful mom, maybe we should do something about this. Maybe we should do a little bit more. So we had a race. And then friends and family helped us run that race. And Sam's soul got bigger. And then the next time we had a race, there were friends and family of our friends and family. And Sam's soul kept getting bigger for us. And then it got to a point where it said to Nikki that there's a purpose and there's a mission that we want to have a fundraiser that helps kids in the hospital, just like with art and music therapy, just like we help Sam. And Miranda came into our life, and we had our first thread of hope. And we wasn't just friends and family, it was people that I didn't know, which is fantastic. And so that was an incredible success. And from that event, we went from just a family that was surviving to a family that was just trying to raise some money to a family whose daughter's soul gave us a purpose to help other kids. And what you can find when we see the video is that this foundation is making a real difference in the lives of some kids that really need it. And so, when I thought about the conflict, the contradiction between the finite body that Sam had and her infinite soul, I thought to myself, when I think about the rich tapestry of her life, I realized it wasn't woven with a thread, but that it was woven with steel cables of hope. Thank you.